Welcome to another episode of Bedroom Forensics. Thanks for stopping by. If you want to get all the latest information about the show, then don't forget to subscribe or get in touch if you want me to discuss something or speak to an expert. Anyway, to today's episode, it's nearly the weekend, woohoo, and it's gonna be hot. The chances are, if you follow any police chatter on social media, then you'll know that they usually give warnings on weekends of orders within certain areas. Now, I live in London and it's a regular thing to see a Section 60 or Section 35 orders in certain areas. And if you've ever thought, gee, what is that? Will it affect me? Well, let me tell you. Section 60. Now, that allows police to carry out searches without any grounds for suspicion if they believe there's a chance serious violence will occur within a certain area over a specific time. They can also confiscate things too. Now, of course, it isn't as simple as that. It's officially from Section 60, the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994. It's different from your normal stop and search, which any officer can do if they have reasonable grounds to stop someone on the street. Like someone's coming out of a store and the alarm goes off. Pow! A police officer's by, you're getting checked, pal. But Section 60 isn't chucked out willy-nilly. It can only be implemented by a senior ranking officer. And as I already mentioned, the Section 60 is only for a certain time period, and usually only if police believe that something will kick off in that area. For example, fights after football, raves or gang rumblings. Pretty much if they hear any possibility of serious violence that could be happening, or if they know someone could be carrying a weapon, they slap a Section 60 on the area. It is a preventative method, and often on the days they are occurring, you'll see more officers at the tube stations or potentially by football stadiums. In this order, police have the right to ask you to remove clothing to pat you down, not like get naked or anything. And they can also ask you to remove a mask, so don't think you can be anonymous if you're carrying an offensive weapon. There are a lot of rules associated with the orders. Police can't just blindly point at a map and boom, Section 60. They need intel that something will kick off. So they search the internet, socials like TikTok or Instagram or one of the other ones, or they work with the community to find out what's going down. Now, big events like Notting Hill or Extinction Rebellion protests usually get an order slapped on, just in case. But even if there is the violence, it's coming and it's obvious, then it still needs to have a green light from a high-ranking officer, and which one differs with each force. And they have to believe it really is necessary and the action justified. And why do you see police chucking out Twitter posts about where they're going to search? It's because they have to, by law. So there you have it. Section 60 in a little bubble. But what about Section 35? Well, usually they are chucked together, well, more recently they are, but this order is specifically for dispersal and can be found in the Antisocial Behaviour Crime and Policing Act 2014. Police can ask people to move on, normally from, say, the park or the street, but this order gives them the right to not only chuck out an individual, but keep them out for over 48 hours. And it can be anyone from over the age of 10, but only if there are reasonable grounds. Now, Section 35 could be used to stop people being harassed or intimidated, and it has been used often in lockdown to try and stop illegal music events too. Now, if the person doesn't leave or they return within the 48 hours, they could be slapped with a fine or arrested. Now, this section is only for public areas, so if there is a garden party happening, it's unlikely the police will be using Section 35. So will either of these orders affect you? Well, maybe. I know that's all I'm going to say on that. There are a lot of activists who want Section 60 banned because they say it's used to profile certain groups, and others who say that if you've got nothing to hide, then why are you so worried? But I'm not going to put my flag in either camp. This episode is just to give you info on what the sections are. Anyway, have you seen something weird from police socials that you would like me to explain, or maybe you have an expert that you want to find out more about? Then why not get in touch and let me know, and I will try and reach out and get them on the show. That's all. So you know what, have a lovely weekend or week if you're watching this any day. Have a lovely time, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.